Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another UFC fight prediction video. In this video, I'll be predicting the full card of fights for UFC on ABC4, Rozenstruik versus Almeida. So without further ado, let's get to our first fight on the card. So in our first fight, we have in the bantamweight division, women's bantamweight division, we got Jessica Rose Clark versus Tainara Lisboa. And this one's a low confident pick. I'm just going with the fresher face here. Rose Clark is coming off injuries and on a 2-fight skid. Well, coming off an arm injury from like a arm bar. Now she's going with Tainara Lisboa, who's a Muay Thai striking specialist. Now that doesn't have the best experience, but again, that's why it's low confidence. She has very little experience in MMA. Her best win is like 1-4. So again, I know that this is not a great pick. This is just like, hey, she's younger. She's 32 versus 35. She's fresher. She's coming in with all this coming in with this fresh face versus this fighter who's been around on a downtrend, coming off an arm injury and coming in banged up. So going with Tainara Lisboa. So she does have a solid clinch. She's Muay Thai. She has plenty of experience, but obviously MMA, the experience is not there. But she still has world-class skills, at least in one facet of the game. And I think she's working on rounding out her skills. So if she could keep this on the feet, has pretty good clinch, and maybe have a timid Rose Clark probably could batter that arm that was broken and then bully her in the clinch. I think she could get her out of there, and I think she gets her out of there in the second round. Just really attacking the arm, then battering her with knees in the clinch and stopping her in the second round. So in this one, I have Tainara Lisboa via second round TKO. Now to our next fight we have in the welterweight division, Gabe Green versus Bryan Battle. And Hosties one right here is going about low confidence here. Bryan Battle, still not sure about how the move to 170 is affecting him. And Gabe Green does have experience here, and Gabe Green's not a guy that's going to be an easy lay down, like some guy that just all he has is low-level wrestling and pillow hands and can't strike or nothing like that. Gabe Green is a guy whose wrestling not the best, that's for sure, but has a solid grappling, solid BJJ skills. And he definitely can scrap on the feet, definitely got good skills on the feet. He's definitely tough. He could push a pace. So he's not a guy that you're going to go in there and say, oh, this is an easy win. It's not an easy win, especially for Bryan Battle or somebody that's not, truly a specialist or, just a truly an outstanding talent or proven to be a truly outstanding talent just yet. So I see this has been a very tough matchup. I think Bryan Battle will make the adjustments. I think he'll land the flusher shots, and I think he'll land the more damaging, more effective shots. I think Gabe Green would throw up a good volume, but I think Battle would land the more significant shots, the more noteworthy shots in each round. And probably keep the striking totals relatively close, probably edging him maybe at least one of the rounds, and then other rounds probably been very close, maybe even Gabe Green outlanding Battle by maybe 5 strikes in those rounds, or maybe getting. But I'm just saying, I feel like the striking total will be even more close, but I think Battle will at least outland in one round and will land the more significant shots. But I think this is a very, very close fight. Could easily end in a split decision. Both guys are skilled. Both guys are tough. And again, Gabe Green has far more experience at this weight class than Bryan Battle. But I'm going to edge it to Bryan Battle to get his hand raised in a decision victory. So in this one, I have Bryan Battle via decision. Now to our next fight we have in the women's flyweight division. We got Gian Kim versus Mandy Bomb. And how I feel about this one right here is I'm going low confidence Bomb. I feel like Gian Kim, she's more so like a plodding, linear fighter, straight forward, straight back. She has a tough chin on her, okay power, but that's about it. She's not going to get flatlined by anyone just yet. She'll take a lot of damage. She can dish a lot of damage, but you don't move. It'll be sock and blockers, but yeah, she's a fighter that can easily be hit. She's there to be hit by anyone. And Mandy Bomb, she has at least decent enough skills to probably work behind the jab, throw a little check hooks, cut some angles, stay on her toes, and circle and not just go straight back. If she could do that, she should be able to win. Put up volume, work behind your straighter punches, throw some front kicks, and move laterally, just not linear, and you should be able to have success here. I don't think it's gonna be an easy fight at all. Still think it's gonna be a very close fight. But I think Mandy Bomb will, like I said, will be able to move laterally and mixing that check hook, work behind the jab, work behind the front kicks, and be able to take advantage of the fact that Gian Kim is always there to be hit. I don't think she stops her at all, nothing like that. I don't think Kim stops her, but I do think Bomb will, again, do a better job of moving laterally and mixing her shots up and also not getting hit. So in this one, I have Mandy Bomb via decision. Now to our next fight, we have in the lightweight division, we got Levy versus Pete Rodriguez. And how I feel about this one right here is fighters dropping weight in this area really aren't having the best success, especially when you're one-dimensional and you're just headhunting. It's just not the best look and not the best. It's not the best path currently right now. It's not having the best success. It's not the best success rate. Pretty low success rate right now. And yeah, to get to the point, I think Nathan Levy is just the better overall fighter. Pete Rodriguez is the better boxer, but that's about it. Better boxer, more power, that's about it. And Nathan Levy has been fighting guys that's like Pete Rodriguez, and you know the people he has beaten in the UFC have all been pretty much Pete Rodriguez, like people that's try to close that gap and fight with boxing, and that's what he's been dealing with. Like I guess they would feel like, oh, he's kind of chinny. I can get on the inside, could touch him, I can knock him out. But that's what they all been doing. They all been failing at that. I think what the only loss he has in his career was when he got out-wrestled by Rafa Garcia and outworked by Rafa Garcia, but it was a mixed martial arts fight. It wasn't just a guy that's trying to go in there and box him and try to knock his lights out. It was not that. And that's all Rodriguez is going to bring, and I feel like Nathan Levy should be to attack the leg, spinning back kick, stepping side kick, mixing his hands a little bit. Obviously, again, I'm not saying Nathan Levy has better hands than Rodriguez. I'm saying he can mix in there. He can't. It's not a case of like he can't afford to throw hands with him. He can throw hands. He can box. He can throw punches. Like it ain't like, oh, Pete Rodriguez is this great boxer. In all reality, Pete Rodriguez is a mediocre fighter. He might win this fight very well, catch him or whatnot, but at the end of the day, Pete Rodriguez, by the time he retires, he will be a mediocre fighter. Like that's just no ifs and no buts about it. But I think Levy should be able to get him out of there. I'm not saying get out of there, but Levy should be able to beat him. Use his feet, move. Don't be a stationary target. Mix his kicks in there, mix his wrestling in there. And it's exploit the fact that Rodriguez is one-dimensional, like I said. Probably stepping side kicks, hyperextend that knee. It's like just mixing it up. And like, when Rodriguez starts to load up, this level change, drag him to the mat, and just beat him to a decision, fight smart, and be more technical, and be more diverse. So in this one, I have Nathan Levy via decision. Now to our next fight, we have in the bantamweight division, we got Cody Stamann versus Douglas Silverdale Andrade. And how I feel about this one right here. I feel like Douglas Silverdale Andrade's best chance to win is all relies on hurting or finishing Cody Stamann. And Cody Stamann, to my recollection, I have never seen him hurt, well, notably hurt, or really even visibly hurt, dropped or finished. Well, at least not finished by knockout. And I think Cody Stamann is the better wrestler, better grappler in this one, at least in MMA term. Like when it's more so positional and you're not really playing sub versus sub or anything like that. I think he's clearly a better grappler in that sense, like getting the takedowns, maintaining the top position, defending the takedowns. I think that's Cody Stamann's has a clear advantage in that area. And again, I think Andrade's path to victory, really rely on striking. And I think Cody Stamann should be able to, even hold his own with Andrade or even outstrike Andrade. I think he could score takedowns on Andrade without any issue of some submissions or flying knees or anything like that. And again, I think he eats flying knees for dinner. So yeah, I think Cody Stamann is going to outwork Douglas Silverdale Andrade, out-wrestle him, out-grapple him, and just really set the pace and just continue to set that pace through 15 minutes and beat him by decision. So in this one, I got Cody Stamann via decision. And now to our next fight, we have in our heavyweight division, but in the heavyweight division, we got Carl Williams versus Chase Sherman. And how I feel about this one right here is I'm going Carl Williams to beat Chase Sherman, high confidence. I feel like Carl Williams is a very smart fighter, and as far as what I've seen from him, good well-rounded skills, decent striking, mixes in his wrestling well, shows a good gas tank so far in his career. And Chase Sherman, really, all he got is a punch chance. He can't wrestle. He can't grapple. He barely can strike. And that's his best chance, hoping that maybe he catches Carl Williams on the feet, hoping that maybe he can stuff the takedowns and maybe hopefully wear Carl Williams out, then come on late and stop him, or I don't know, tire him out and I'll strike him to a decision, something like that. But yeah, Chase Sherman, this is not the guy I would trust to make those adjustments or trust to be to deal with a smart, well-rounded guy. I feel like Carl Williams should be able to find the wrestling in there. He should be able to have success wherever this fight takes place, but I definitely think the large majority of it is going to be grappling. I think he grounds him out to a decision, like mixing in the striking, gets in and starts taking him down. Once he starts getting him down, I feel it's only going to get easier and easier. Like first round, maybe be a little bit of tough to get him down, maybe a little bit tough. And not even like I said tough, but a little tough. That's what I'm saying. I'm really saying a little tough. Like it'll be a little issue. Maybe he might defend one takedown or maybe 1.5 takedowns. But beyond that point, I think Carl Williams should be pretty good on takedowns and probably go like 60 or 70% on takedowns and grind out a decision over Chase Sherman. So in this one, I got Carl Williams via decision. Now to our next fight, we have in our prelim headliner in the welterweight division. We got Matt Brown versus Court McGee, and I'm going average confidence Matt Brown to beat Court McGee. I think Court McGee is a solid dude. Matt Brown is just the better striker between the two. I think stylistically wise, I feel where I best could summarize it or simplify it in this matchup or in this time in their careers. I think Court McGee is stylistically is like an anti-grappler, or at least like a mid. About a mid-level anti-grappler. If you just really more so a grappler, he can stuff your takedowns, maybe out wrestle you. If you got a pure BJJ player, and like say again around the mid-level or lower than mid-level, particularly probably lower than mid-level because he's mid-level. He can defend your takedowns, maybe score some takedowns on you, neutralize your BJJ, and then maybe just like outwork you, maybe knock you out or something. But probably more so just outwork you, land big shots on you, take you to a decision. Like that's where Court McGee is right now. Matt Brown is a striker, and I feel like going against Court McGee, who's more so not really like the most offensive grappler or offensive wrestler like that. I feel he might go for a couple takes, probably score maybe 2 maximum, but that won't be enough to get him to the victory over Matt Brown. I think Matt Brown has a clear striking edge and should be able to outstrike Court McGee. I think he should be able to do well in the clinch, especially like if he's able to defend the takedowns of Court McGee, like I said, hold him to 2 takedowns or less. And then McGee tries to hold him against the cage or tries to initiate a takedown, and he defends the takedown to fall back into the clinch. I think Matt Brown can dominate the clinch position and put the plums on him, land knees to the body, land elbows from the clinch, and really look to butcher Court McGee in that spot right there. But I think this is going to be a veteran-type fight, a lot of very clinch-heavy, low output, but Brown, like I said, holding McGee probably to 2 takedowns or less, and then work him in the clinch. And also doesn't help the fact that Court McGee is coming off the first knockout loss, stoppage loss, I think, in his UFC career. Definitely, I think his first knockout loss in the UFC career. Yeah, it's definitely his first stoppage loss in general in the UFC career. But yeah, he get knocked out this late in his career for the first time. I don't know how he's going to respond to that. I don't think he'll respond well. And I think Matt Brown should be able to come out on top here. Again, I think a veteran-type fight, 2 guys up there in age, low output, but and holding McGee to 2 or less takedowns and then working him in the clinch a lot in this one. Winning the distance battle and striking, and then winning the clinch battle once McGee's takedowns start to his rate of takedowns start to drop and it really just become a clinch fest. I think Matt Brown will dominate that aspect of the fight for sure. So in this one, I got Matt Brown via decision. Now to our next fight, we have in our first fight on the main card, we have in the welterweight division, we got Tim Means versus Alex Morono in the welterweight division. So how I feel about this one right here is I'm going Alex Morono average confidence to beat Tim Means. I think Tim Means is a solid fighter, but he's getting up there in age. He's like 38 versus a 32-year-old Morono who's sitting right in his prime. I think Tim Means will look good probably through the first round, but I just think his steam, he's going to pretty much start to run out of steam in that second round, or really the end of the first round. By the end of the first round, he's going to already lost significant steam. Then the second round, he's going to just be fighting on backup energy, I guess, or reserves. And I think Morono's going to be to turn it up on him and get him out of there in the late in the second round. I just feel like he's going to start to pick up the volume. You're going to see Tim Means start to dip off, start to put the volume up on him, or probably see him start to dip off, then he's going to probably touch him with something over the top. You're going to start to see Means kind of buckle a little bit, not really respond to the shots that well. And then at that point, I think Morono's going to start to see blood and start to just turn it up on him and get him out of there like late in the second round. So in this one, I have Alex Morono via second round TKO. Now to our next fight, we have in the light heavyweight division, we got Carlos Ulberg versus Igor Patera. And now I see this one right here is going average confidence Carlos Ulberg to beat Igor Patera. And I think Patera's a very aggressive fighter. I would not say he's the most technical fighter. I think Ulberg is definitely the more technical striker for sure. I think this is definitely going to play into a striking battle. Igor Patera is not no war-rounded, great talent where he got solid BJJ skills or some solid wrestling skills or a combination of the two. Really kind of see a guy that is an aggressive fighter with no real true technical skills. I'm not saying he don't have no technique, but he ain't really got this guy's a super technical striker. He's not that. And definitely when saying in the grappling department, he's anything like that. So Ulberg again is the much more credentialed striker, one with an actual solid background in kickboxing versus Igor Patera. And Patera is not really known for having good cardio. He's like a first round spaz. And I think Uber should be able to even get him out in the first round, but I'm gonna lean to a second round. Take him out the first round, probably just, going what's it called, city kickboxing, just shooting at the legs from a distance, sharp shooting the legs, sniping the legs, like city kickboxing style, swiping with kicks to the body, switching stances, catching with check hooks as he come in, stand on the toes and circling, and just really just picking apart Patera through the first round. Then the second round, I think he wore him down. I think he finishes him off in the second round. Got tired, worn down, battered Patera just from getting his legs shoot up, blowing his gasket in the first round, just trying to whip throw these big shots and missing. In the second round, Uber turns it up and get him out second round. So in this one, I got Carlos Uberg via second round TKO. Now to our next fight we have in the welterweight division. We got Daniel Rodriguez versus Ian Machado Gary, or Ian Gary. I'm going to call him Ian Gary. Rodriguez versus Gary. How I feel about this one is I'm going average confidence Gary to beat Daniel Rodriguez. I think Rodriguez is a solid fighter, but I think Gary is just a better fighter. So I think Daniel Rodriguez is going to look to try to box, typically. And I think Gary's going to just be more diverse. I think he's going to use that length, use his kicks to batter the inside, the outside legs of Rodriguez, stay on his toes and just circle and not be a stationary target for Rodriguez to get in and box or work behind his jab. I just think Gary's going to just take away that leg, especially the lead leg, so Rodriguez's jab is less effective and throws off the timing of that jab of Rodriguez. And ultimately, I think Gary just going to outvalue him and just be more diverse than Rodriguez. And I think he beats him in a decision victory. So in this fight, I have Ian Gary via decision. Now to our next fight we have in the light heavyweight division. We got Anthony Smith versus Johnny Walker. And how I feel about this one in our co-main event, I'm going Johnny Walker. I feel like Anthony Smith is not really in the best mental space right now, or he's not on the best momentum. I'm not going to say headspace. He's not on the best momentum. I think Johnny Walker's riding, just about the best, as good a momentum as he has had in the UFC outside of when he was coming in and like debuting on that initial streak. But he's getting back to it. He's more mature now. And so this really probably a better streak than the first one, at least like overall. He had a chance to lose and come back, and now he's on a mature now, and he's on a winning streak. And I think we're going to continue to see a better and better version of Johnny Walker. And I think he'll show that again against Anthony Smith. I think he'll be able to be faster, bigger, more explosive. And I think he'll be able to get Anthony Smith out in the first round. I think he's going to overwhelm him early in the first. Smith has sometimes been a slow starter, or been a guy, if you could get a beat on him or jump on him early, he has shown just to be able to, not just to be able to, but he has shown to kind of wilt out there. Or if you could impose yourself on him and like early or at any point in the fight, he has shown that he has broken down in fights. And I think Walker can get that reaction out of him in the first round. Just being big, explosive, fast, cracking with big kicks to the body, big kicks to the leg, explosive movements, and probably like this. Just give him a lot of different things and have Smith not knowing what's coming next. And Smith, coming in cold, probably in the first round, and need a little bit of time to settle, and Walker not going to give him that time to settle. And I just think Walker overwhelms him in the first round, gives him a lot of different looks, leg kicks, body kicks, faking like high, faking low, not knowing what's coming. Then when he gets Smith start to bite on the feints and start to react to everything he's doing, I think he slams a flying knee into his dome and knocks him down and follows up with some ground and pound in that first round, getting Smith out in the first round. So in this one, I got Johnny Walker via first round TKO. Now for our main event, we have in the heavyweight division, we got Jairzinho Rozenstruik versus Gelton Almeida. And how I feel about this one right here is I'm going Gelton Almeida to beat Jairzinho Rozenstruik. High confidence. With this one, my only real concern is probably the initial round or the initial opening of the first round when Gelton Almeida comes out with that front kick. You can't afford to be that predictable, especially against a counterpuncher like Jairzinho Rozenstruik. That's my concern. But beyond that, Gelton Almeida should be able to win this one. I feel like he should be able to hold his own with Rozenstruik on the feet as long as he's diverse. But obviously, that's not where you want to play this fight. You gotta keep in mind this is an MMA fight. You're an MMA fighter, a BJJ specialist. So obviously, I think he gonna go to his bread and butter. But it's really the concern is that front kick and not being predictable. Because it could easily be the case that he get caught with a check hook or something at the beginning of the fight and get knocked out if he's going to keep doing the same thing. Maybe work behind the jab. Maybe do a 1-2, then a front kick. Or maybe jab, feint, hip feint, Don't throw the front kick, then throw the front kick. Like, well, don't do a hit feint and don't throw it. Do another hit feint. I said hit feint. What's a feint? Hit feint, and then or something like that. Like that, disguise the front kick and then go for the double or something like that. But yeah, it's really just the predictability in that opening sequence where he could get knocked out. But beyond that, I think Almeida is obviously gonna go to his bread and butter, his BJJ, his wrestling, his grappling. He ain't gonna go out there try and strike when he ain't gonna try and go out there and make no statement. Hopefully not. And hopefully don't be as predictable this time. And leave that one opportunity that Rozenstruik has to knock him out, which is, again, that opening sequence. But beyond that, he should be able to score takedowns on Rozenstruik. Should be able to dominate him in the grappling department. I think he'll be able to get the takedown with him in the first minute. And should be able to hold and maintain it at least for a good 2 minutes. And then probably get him back down again by the end of that round if he needs to. If not, he's going to drag him out the whole first round. But regardless, he's going to be putting the grappling pace and pressure on him, the ground and pound on him largely through that first round. In the second round, you're going to have a more tired Rozenstruik, more labored, mouth-breathing Rozenstruik. Then he'll be able to pressure him, easily level chain, drag him to the mat, pound him out, get Rozenstruik to make a defensive mistake, and then snap on a submission and get him out second round. So in this fight, I have Jelton Almeida via second round submission. And that concludes my fight predictions for the 4 card of fights for UFC on ABC4, Rozenstruik versus Almeida. And as always, thanks for watching.